Hey there, Nick here. In this video, we're going to go over how to recursively delete all empty directories using find. This could be handy if you have, let's say, dozens or over 100 directories, and you've got a couple of different files nested about that you don't want to delete, but you have a whole bunch of empty directories that you do. So we're going to go over a real-world use case here in a bit, but let's go over a basic example first. And by the way, we're also going to be able to do a dry run so we can see the results before we delete them. But right now I have a completely empty directory, so let me use make-dir-p and brace expansion here just to make a whole bunch of different directories. I've actually done videos about this in the past here, so I'll link to a card if you want to learn more about this brace expansion here. So no, that is not the alphabet, but I think this might be. Okay, so then this is going to create a whole bunch of different nested directories that we can play around with. So if we do an lslar here, we'll see that we have all sorts of different directories that were created here, you know, basically A and then AD and then all these other ones, basically giving us a test ground here to modify some stuff. But yeah, let's start with just deleting all the empty directories, and we can do find, and then we can say type directory because we only want to deal with directories here, not files. Then this is basically the whole video where we use the empty flag here, which is going to give us a list of all the empty files here. And then we can say, you know what, I want to delete them. Or instead of delete, we can print them. But let's start with delete here. And if I actually run this command here, it is going to do what you may think it does. And it's just going to delete everything because, you know, every single directory that we just created, there's no files in there. So it is going to delete them all. So if we do this here, we can see that this whole thing has been wiped out. Everything is completely empty. It did exactly what we wanted it to do. So I just ran that make-dir-p command here, and now we're back to how we were a second ago here. But you know, now let's say I go into the A directory and then, I don't know, maybe the E directory here, and I just touch a couple files here like hello world. And now we go back a couple directories and we run that same find command that we did before here. And what do we want to do? We want to do type D here, and then we want to empty, and then we also want to delete here. So if I run this command now, we would hope that in the end, this AE directory is going to continue to survive with these two files that we created here. So now if we do an lsla here, we can see that there's A here, and then we go into E, and then yeah, there's the two files that we created here. And just to make sure, you know, we can do lslar again here, and we can see, well, that's all we have here, the A directory, the E directory, and then there's two files in there. So that's basically the solution to the problem there. So let me just go ahead and RM this A directory here, just so we're back to where we were before here. And now let's say we want to do a make-dir-p again. We have all our setup, and we go back into the AE file. Well, technically I can just touch things into AE, and we can also use brace expansion again here and do something like hello world and make those two files here in the AE directory. And this time around, we're going to do find, and then we'll do type D, and then we'll do empty. And then this time around, we're going to do print instead of delete here. And we can see now it was going to show us exactly what directories are going to be deleted without actually us needing to pull the trigger and do the delete. So if you're about to do this on something very important, then it would be a really good idea to do this because, yeah, you can see the results of what's happening here. We can see that, you know, AEI, AEJ, and H, and all these other different combos here are being deleted. But there is a directory that is going to survive here, and that would be what the AE hello world. So we can see AE in itself is actually not being deleted here, just those empty subdirectories inside of there. So yeah, that's basically it here, and cool. So now let's go over the real world use case here. And like, this is kind of, I don't know, not something you would do all the time. So I have this one project I'm working on here. It's a Rails application, and inside of Rails, there is this idea of active storage, and it deals with file uploads. And I don't want to go into like major details about all of that, but long story short, what happens here is when you upload files, I'm just using the local storage, so it saves things to disk here in development, it will create all these different directories here. And if I do another lslar here, we can see that we have a whole bunch of different files in a lot of these directories. Now, I've actually already run that find command here to delete all the empty directories. But yeah, in Rails, when I go ahead and just delete the file or, you know, unattached files or anything like that, they get deleted from disk. However, the parent directory doesn't get deleted. So I ended up in this scenario here where I just had like, I don't know, 250 or like 300 empty directories with no files in them. You know, these are actually files here with no extension or technically binary blobs or whatever. However, active storage deals with that. But yeah, I just wanted to clean all those up in one shot. And there was no way I was going to go through, you know, hundreds of directories like that and just do that. So yeah, that's what got me to poke around here and play around with some of Find's properties or flags that we can do there. The empty one was very handy, and there we go. So let me know in the comments below, or let us know in the comments below, when was the last time you used this empty flag, or is this something you just learned today? What type of use cases are you going to be using this for? Yeah, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up because it really does help a lot. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next video.